moved them right in right there. Jen and the kids, they're really good people. Anyways, I ended up getting them an hour and a half away, so now when I want to go see them, it's like it's a major operation. But yeah, like I'm smoking the stuff that I do that he, I grew in the tent and I followed his instructions, and I mean, I take 3 puffs and I'm just like cross-eyed. So that's the Khalifa mints. Irish Dabs on Instagram. I think it's just that @ symbol, Irish Dabs, and he's on Instagram. I don't know. He wants a website, and I told him I'd put something together for him, and I just haven't done it. But see, I want to be sitting there with him and Jen, his wife, and we can sit back and smoke one around the fire out back, and then we can go over it kind of thing and say, all right, let's see how this can be done or something. So he's looked into licensing and stuff too for the future, because they may open up things to more people being able to run businesses without all the, provincial nonsense and all that. So he's just a guy to keep an eye on it too, because as soon as he figures, like, soon as they change something that makes him, makes him able to sell across the land and up and down and all around, he'll be right on top of it. So Minnesota, by the way, Minnesota just legalized weed, eh? Right on, Minnesota. You guys are going to have a great time ice fishing up there, smoking doobies now legally. It's like sit in the ice hut, kick back, got your line in the water. Man, it's a little bit of music if you're into that. And it's just like, you're like, this is fucking great. The only thing is, and it has happened to me, is you get caught off guard. Like if it's just a regular old bite and you pull it up. But sometimes, when a pike hits, or, trout can hit stupidly fast too, you got that lack of, like not lack of, but it's like, and you'll either lose it or you won't, but you'll be like, your heart will be doing one of these, right, till you get it on the ice. So anyway, congratulations, Minnesota, from Lad from the Woods. I'm glad for all you Minnesotans out there. You guys really should be Canadians, along with the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, even the Lower Peninsula. But, yeah, you guys are, I don't know, you're not very American. No, God, that's a terrible thing to say to you guys. You guys are proud Americans, but I don't know. I always think of people that deal with -40 and snow up to their chins. They're more like Canadians, right? Like North, the true North, Same with Alaska. Alaska, I don't know what in the hell happened back there 200 years ago, but Russia shouldn't have had it. They shouldn't have sold it to the States, and it should have been given to us here in Canada. And do the same like it was for the Alaska Gold Rush and all that stuff. Let the Americans come up back in those days, because you could settle it. So, they're coming up from the States, they're coming from all over the world. Well, let them have at it, but be under Canadian control. Although they're probably happy not to have us right now with that idiot prime minister we have. But anyway, that things are always subject to change, and he's in a minority government, so he'll be gone. I just hope what we get isn't worse. That's the only thing. Anyway, yeah. Oh, we're gonna bake some bread tonight. I need some bread. I've been buying bread too much, and I'm noticing, it's not good, because when I eat the regular bread from the store, I find it actually makes me hungry after, which doesn't happen now that I'm on Ozempic. So when I make my own bread and make a sandwich with it, I am definitely not hungry after it. So they must put a pound of sugar in those loaves or anything. Like when I make a full-size loaf, the sugar that I put in, I think, is only a teaspoon, and that's mixed in with the 2 1/4 tablespoons of the bubbly. Another mind block. Gotcha. Anyway, the stuff that makes the loaves, right? The loaf rise. So I mix a little bit of sugar in that with the warm water, and I always proof it. And so the sugar is like in there, and then you put the salt directly into the flour, is the way I do it, because you don't want it to go directly into the you know, because the salt will actually kill the bubbling, so you keep them separate. And then I put a tablespoon of butter in, like real butter. And actually I can do that with the ghee now. I don't even have to melt butter to put in there. Oh, actually, no, I need to melt. It needs to be more liquid for the flour. Anyway, I put a tablespoon of butter in there. Salt, butter, water, flour. That's it. And I use just regular old baking flour. And yeah. And you know something? I leave it on the, if I don't eat it like every day, and I leave it on the counter or whatever, you know, wrapped, it doesn't turn green too quick or anything. You know, I definitely have had it last longer than loaves of bread I get from the grocery store. There's something I have. And have any of you out there, and say this in the comments to me, okay, wherever this turns up. Do you guys notice if you go to the corner store for a loaf of bread? Now here in Ontario, we have one that's called Betty Bright. My favorite bread because it actually tastes almost like bread as opposed to Wonder Bread, which I don't know what that is, but that don't taste like bread to me. Anyways, then there's other kinds, but none of them are any good. Anyway, Betty Bright. Okay, it's chewy, it's perfect, a nice crust. I shouldn't be eating it, like I said, because it is a commercial one. But when when you're in a pinch, anyways, I go to the corner store. I go to the little groceria back in the village, and they always got the Betty Bright there, and so does the local grocery store. If I buy a loaf or two at the grocery store, it's not near as fresh, not even close as the one at the groceria here, like I said, in town, in the village. And it actually I think it's probably just my head, but it actually tastes better than the same company's bread that's in the grocery store. I don't think there is a difference. It's just probably me, but I don't know. But it's just, I find that weird. And I'm like one of those people, like there's a bunch of loaves on the shelf, I go to the back, you know, and look for the stuff. Same with the milk. I go to the latest milk as I can get, especially if I'm buying the grass-fed stuff that isn't pure filter. You know, it's just regular pasteurized, which I hate, but the Ontario government still so far is not allowing unpasteurized milk on our tables. I thought the Americans, and that pissed me off because the Americans supposedly they could ship it up here. I'm not sure about that because they were going to start letting them sell milk here. I'll have to go look that up. But you can go across the border here and go buy unpasteurized milk in the grocery store and bring it across. They won't say nothing. People have already asked. And I'm like, fuck. I don't know anybody that goes down there regular like I used to. I had a friend, and he was Algonquin, and he told me that like he goes all the time, and he's got his card, all that stuff. And I said, well, okay. I mean, like, I'll give you some money for gas and stuff, right? He says, yeah. And he says, whatever the money is, like he says, I'll tell you, and then you can just e-transfer it over and whatever. Well, we did that, and then once I left work, we were working at the same place. He was living, he lives down, he's probably still there, down in Cardinal with his wife. And I don't even know how to find him anymore. But anyway, great guy, but he got all kinds, like he didn't have to pay tax. He didn't, because of his card too, there was something. And we never actually sat down and really talked about it. I didn't really want to pry and ask him, right? Like that's kind of, private stuff, I think. Anyways, boy, would I sure have him bringing the milk back if I could. But, yeah. Until something changes here, or, well, I've said that, it would be nice to have a place where I can have a couple of milkers and beef and stuff like that. But I think I have decided pretty I'm not going to get property once I leave here. I don't think I'm going to reinvest in property. I'm going to buy a piece of property and donate it to one of the nations here in Canada. And as a thank you for, and then I'm going to leave some stuff to my step niece. And then I'm just going to get into a pickup truck. I'm just going to do the motorhome thing and live from place to place. That's what I'm going to do. And once I'm finally too old to drive by myself or whatever, then I'll be parking it there and looks like Comox PC with Helena and Chris. And, you know, they said they'll look after me until I drop dead. So anyway, let's hope that's not for quite a piece away. But yeah, no, I'm not going to buy any more property other than, like I said, to donate to the First Nations. I'm thinking either Haida Gwaii, you know, up in the northern part of BC, in the, like, you know, off the coast there, or something on Vancouver Island, or Sable Beach, where I've had friends in the Saugeen. I never know how to say that, and I can't remember. I'm going to have to go see one of the guys when I'm there and have him re-educate me on some stuff. And anyways, smoking some good weed and get him talking. He'll educate me. Maybe there too, because they've been screwed around quite a bit too over the years, and my family interacted with those tribes there, and you know, that's the Bruce Peninsula and south of Owen Sound, Hepworth, you know, Kincardine, all the way that whole region. My family is very significant there, at least they were in the day, and then the 1800s. And so our families interacted with the local Saugeen. And my family, from what I understand, going back, we never screwed anybody. Everything was always copacetic. Families, you know, whether you were First Nations or from, you know, Europe, people were getting married and having kids and moving around and everything. So anyways, but they did get screwed around by other situations. So, so yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that today. So yeah, yeah, they're right down the mosquitoes. Damn. Oh, that's something. I near fucked up my well. That I can't believe. I had put that hose in the boat, okay, to put in. Can you guys see that? Maybe not, eh? Let's get this away. Okay, hang on a second here. Yeah, so I'd put the hose in. As I said in an earlier video, I filled up the inside to find out where the leaks were. Leaks have been found, but I had brought it up to, I don't know, a good 6 inches. Well, anyway, apparently that's really hard on my well if I do it all at once. So you'd think I'd learn that by now, but I can't remember a well that I actually had to do that. Then I got thinking, well, what about when I water the plants? And I'm going, oh, right, you know, it's in a sprinkler, so it's not using anywhere near the water. Laundry, same thing. You know, it's not like I sit there and do 50 loads in one day. I mean, I've got the gray water pit I don't want full. Like, you know, I got to give it time to soak and evaporate and stuff. So, but I mean, so I never really pound the well like I did with that. Well, that was a mistake. The water turned kind of an orangey brown, which I'm assuming is sediment, because when I let the cup sit with it, I could see sediment on the bottom. Anyways, I drank it anyways and used it in my coffee, you know, and it's like, okay, I know it's not good for the coffee maker and stuff like that, but, you know, the water's fine now, but anyway, it didn't kill me, didn't make me sick or anything, so there you go. But yeah, that's not a mistake I'll make anytime soon again. That was not a good plan. So, lesson learned. 140-foot well. See, that was my only, you know, that was my mindset. So I thought, oh, it's on a spring. I got all, you know, but I just didn't think of it properly when I did this. So anyway, what I should have done, but I didn't have the plug at that point. What I should have done was when I was at the car wash, you know, when I'm washing it, I just keep the plug in and let it fill up full of water. And, you know, it may not be full, but it would have been at least less water, you know. So anyway, duh. Well, I think that's going to be it for this video because, well, I think it's going to be videos. It's already 36 minutes. And I'm not, once in a while now, I'll put a long one, but, you got to break it up for people, too, that want 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. So, because I'm like that, so I'm certain others are, too, so. Oh, this is what I got to do. Anything charged yet? I can't tell. I'm gonna have to look at the instruction booklet. It's been so long since I used the drone. Okay, you little buggers. Now you're gonna turn up. Okay. I've got some water thing. I know one thing I gotta do. I gotta throw a chlorine tablet into my gray water. Not much, like just a light one that keeps the mosquitoes from, well, it's too deep for them to breed there anyway, but anyway, somebody was telling me if you don't go stupid, obviously, with chlorine, because you don't want that going in your ground. Not chlorine, but a pellet, a pool pellet. So instead of getting it to smell like a pool, you just throw one pellet in and leave it, and that'll, any smell. Although I really never do smell anything from it, but I mean, I let the weeds grow up all around it too. So, because they're soaking up that water and they're happy, they get, super high. So, but, yeah, I think in September when because I'll be ordering gravel for sure in September to raise that laneway up front. I'm going to get some clear stone to put into that for the winter and cover it over. So, leave it. Anyway, what was I doing here? Oh yeah, I got to poke holes in these cups. Then I got to put some soil. Oh, don't you fall underneath. Traditional Canadian beer cup, I guess. $7.99 for 50 at Independent. Well, that wasn't too bad, I guess. They got ones where the label's already on it, but they charge $16.99 for a little piece of, they charge $16.99 for 50 cups. I'm like, what a ripoff. Like it's more than double price just to put some label. Like you can have like a little label on it so you can write on it. Fuck, I just write on the side of that. Oh, I'm not getting through here. On here. There we go. Oops. Gotta turn them, eh? Forget to turn them so the hole is clear. See? One. Well, look who showed up. He's mad at me. I haven't had any food for him. It's okay there, buddy. Oh, is he coming up to give me shit? There's actually food in there. I found some sunflower seeds that had spilled out in the back room as I've been cleaning it. So I put this off and I called for Marvin, but I didn't see him. And he just came in, but as soon as I moved, he took off again. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he knows. I mean, I did put, unless it's this thing that's scaring him, but no, he's seen this before. He doesn't even pay attention to it. So, well, okay, Marvin. I thought you were going to be on YouTube today, but I guess not. Anyway, pissed at me because I haven't had any sunflower seeds for him. I've been giving him the last of last year's deer feed from the feeders, that we didn't use. So I got to go see the guys in Umpa and see what they want to do this fall for hunting, because I'm going to need to get a new trail cam and yeah, just a new trail cam. And of course, then some more feed, because unlike the last person who's no longer welcome here, I will start putting out my feed early. And it is definitely time, I don't know why I haven't done it, but a salt lick too needs to go back there. I don't know why some of these cups are tougher. It's kind of crazy. Manufacturing differences. I can't get it to go in. It just keeps wanting to bend now or collapse, so there we go. Oh, you stupid. Okay, guys. Maybe I'm going to stop you guys and put that fan back on. So I'm getting eaten alive here. I don't feel like putting mosquito shit on my face. And that's where they're coming to. They're not any, none of them on my legs. What's wrong with this thing? Isn't it working? Oh, there we go. It's working. Look, I'm having trouble getting holes in this thing. Hole on the side here. Trying to hold the bottom of the cup so it doesn't collapse, but you know what that could turn into, right? Hole in the finger and a trip to emergency. If I did really bad, if I don't do bad, well, okay, but anyway. And of course, that's my bad hand from the chainsaw accident, but this actually is working. I just put my finger on the other side, so maybe that's how I used to do it. I just didn't remember until now. Yeah, seems to be a lot easier now. Oh, put your finger down. I had no holes in fingers. Yep, there we go. That's 3. I think I got 7 or 8 seeds in there. I'll do this again. Well, you know what? We're running near out of battery. It's 42 minutes.
Slow down, mama. Why you talk so mean? Good Lord, Nashville, it ain't what it seems. You got nice clothes, late night shows, boogie down at the bar, fiddle tunes and homemade booze, but it always goes too far. Shooting pool, crack a jack, take off now.